What's up, everyone? The Panda Photographer. Give it a little moment before people come into the live stream. So this is part 3 of what we're going to be doing is editing this Irix 150mm micro lens review. Right off the bat, I'm going to apologize because I do have a cold now. Because it's been extremely cold. And I think I'm getting sick. Oh, that's gross. That is so gross. I gotta find tissue. Where's all of my tissue? Sorry about that, everyone. Getting sick because it's negative 35 degrees outside Fahrenheit in Madison, Wisconsin, and I came here late to get set up, but I want you guys to enjoy some of the beats. These are non-copyrighted music that YouTube provided, so if you like those beats, let me know. I'm always researching something. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, yesterday we were in the second part 2 of the processes of assembling and editing videos and taking these B-roll clips and editing them. So before that, I would like to say thank you to those that did watch that live stream and those that actually hit the thumbs button up. I really do appreciate it. It really does help me out. I really do appreciate it. But we're gonna shift over to my screen capture, which is my display. You'll probably see SQ. SQ is the squirrel. He's the man. But I want to just let you guys know right now that take this video with a grain of salt. This video, this live stream, is to help those beginners, those intermediate folks to understand Adobe Premiere a little bit better than they normally usually, because I'm getting a feeling that the newbies and the intermediates just give up on Premiere because it's too complicated to actually use. And tell you the truth, it is absolutely not complicated to use. So with that said, everyone, before we get started, 646studios.com is my website. I have all of my photos, not all of them, but I got a portfolio there you can go check out. On top here, I got a bunch of Instagram and Facebook and a whole bunch of icons there. You can click on it and it'll lead you right to my page. You can also, if you like, hit that PayPal donation button right there. You don't need an account to donate. Please, it really does help me out as a travel photographer and a self-taught photographer and a YouTube content creator. And I really do appreciate you guys do that for me. But if you guys want to go flip over and go to my Instagram, ThePandaPhotographer, I got 1,693 followers. And you can check out my portfolios there as well if you guys are interested in checking that out. Got a lot of love there, as you can see, a lot of love. And apparently right now on the digital photography Facebook page, this has over 102 likes, and this one has about 248 likes. So people really like the concept. And if you guys don't understand the art of photography, the way I see things in a different approach may not be appealing to you, but those that are smart enough to see what I'm actually capturing and actually gathering here is lines, symmetric. This photo demonstrates reflections, water, lines, symmetric, street photography, color, vivid, pop. So go check it out, guys. So that's the Instagram. My Twitter is at 646studios, at 646studios. This is my Twitter. All right, and I got a link in as well. You can check out my portfolio there if you're on a business line of things. You want to conduct business with me internationally, relationships, doing English or translations. I am available, and I got a Flickr. So we're gonna exit these out. Give my RAM a little bit more leeway here, but yesterday in Premiere, we were at the end stages of adding an adjustment layer. Now the adjustment layer that I add has Film Convert Pro 2.36, and I use Film Convert to color grade my footage quite a bit. It's a very useful tool, so you can download whatever camera pack that you have. Say you have a A6300, you can go to Film Convert, and I'm not sponsored by Film Convert. This is not a plug for Film Convert. I'm just letting you guys know that I am absolutely using these tools to do what is necessary as a amateur videographer to add my footage and YouTube content creator, and also a photographer that makes vlogs and videos. So we are in the process. So let's start off what we start off with yesterday. Let's finish what we started off yesterday. So what we were really trying to do is try to take these key notes from the song, and like the bass or something that's like for instance, bling, and then there's a blackout period. So at this point we are using this song, but we also now we in the process of color grading each one of these, and then we're going to add text, maybe some little animations to emphasize who owns the right for this, who owns the copyright to this video, which is me. I'm going to add my own little animations, my own plugs, my own little side, little screen, whatever you want to guys going to call it, other B-roll on top of other B-roll. But we were left right about here where we were color grading this, and where we left off is where I was showing you guys how sharp the unsharpening tool makes it look better. But now we are in Film Convert right now, and we need to make some fine adjustments here. And blues look alright. A little red right there on the highlights, just a little bit, because there was a red. See, so see how I can change that color, messing with this color wheel. So if you want it really cool, we can get it cool, but we want it right about there, just a smidge. Just a smidge, because there was a red LED light actually on top of this, giving it a separation. Cool light, which is red, but not too much. It was at what, 40%, maybe 35% power. So, but what we want to do is fix the brightness and exposure here. So, I want it too dark. Just about there. We can zoom in. I'm a little sick, guys, so if I sound a little bit off today, I really do apologize. I got sick last night. Oh, terrible. It got really bad. Like, I'm literally have a waterfall of mucus coming out my nose, and it just keeps coming. But we are also going to change this color temperature. I'm going to fix the color temperature about 5400 here. See, I can't remember what was the color temperature that I set for most of these. 'Cause my brain is not functioning. Alright. Okay, so we're gonna do 800. Boom. Now that looks a little too cool, so we're gonna put it at 5400. That looks about okay. That looks about okay. And what we want to do to this one is add effects on sharpen. We're gonna do about let's do 120, and we're gonna do 2.2, and you can definitely see the change. Let me just zoom in here really quickly so you guys can see the change when you add the sharpening. Boom, boom. That's sharpen, unsharpen, sharpen, unsharpen. You see that? Look at the Irix sign here. Now keep in mind, I'm using OBS. I am recording this in 1080p 30 frames a second. I can record this in 1080p 60 frames a second, but I need as much GPU power when doing rendering these B-roll and showing you guys in real time. So look at the sharpening. Boom. Pay attention to the 150 sign here, the dragonfly, Irix, and look at the bottom here too. So that's sharpen, unsharpen, sharpen, unsharpen. So there's a big difference. So now we can just unzoom out of here, go to fit, and we want to do the exact same thing to this one. We're going to make some adjustments here as well. We're going to put 5400, write that up, and we are going to leave the color temperature just the way it is. We are going to bring this down a little bit to the warm side, right about that. That looks good. That looks good so far. Now, not liking how this looks. Not a big fan. I'm clipping. So make that adjustment right there. Bring that to shadows just a bit. Boom. Alright. So that looks better. Still not a big fan. Now, remind you guys, this was recorded on a fucking smartphone device. I'm sorry for the language. Oh, my nose is killing me. Oh, I'm sick. I mean, oh, I feel really drowsy. Really drowsy. I feel like I'm gonna like pass out. So now we're gonna add same thing. 120, 1.2. And I want you to take a good look. 75%. This is unsharpened. See how soft, a little bit soft that gets. That's a little bit soft. But you can see in due process. So now you guys understand how to apply, why to shoot soft, not soft. So if you have like a digital DSLR camera or a mirrorless camera, this is what I would recommend. If you're shooting 1080p 60 frames per second, alright, go into your color profiles. If you say you're using a Sony, go to your color profiles. If you didn't understand these color profiles, that's fine. Go into the normal color profiles like neutral. I like to set my contrast down to -2 or -3. My saturation down to -2 or -3. And my sharpness, I like to set it at -1 or 2 because I'm going to add sharpness. But in some cases, I don't technically do -1 or 2 sharpness. I just leave it at 0 because as Sony and like in Nikon is getting better at video features. and it has been for quite some time. The sharpness coming out the Sony is pretty good, but if you're using a smartphone, you really don't want to add too much sharpness. But I've used ProMovie, so ProMovie gives me the flexibility to do a little bit of unsharpening while I'm recording. So, but you guys get the point. So we are going to think this looks good. I'm sorry, guys. My nose is running. Ugh. Running. Ugh. Tissue after tissue. Oh. Really sick. Really sick. Ugh. Oh, booger hands. That's not cool. Booger hands. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing for this one. We're gonna fix the exposure just a bit here. It just seems like it's just a little bit underexposed, just a bit. I don't want to bring it too much. It just seems a little bit underexposed. Look at that. It just seems underexposed right there. Do you guys see that? It just seems too underexposed. So I'm gonna bring it up. Boom! Look at that. I'm killing it. Ugh. That looks gross. Look at that. Ugh. So we're bringing up a stop. Next about. What I want to do is zoom in 100%. I don't want too much noise grain. And I'm gonna probably make 10% here because I don't want too much noise grain. That seems about right. Boom. And then I'm gonna mess with these colors again. Bring that in. And this is looking all over the place right now. And we're gonna fix these blocks just a bit. Right there. That looks good. And bring a little cool there. I might just do something to the midtones right about there. Yeah, that looks good. With the midtone coming down on that midtone right there. That seems pretty the way I think I want it. For now. Like I said, this is for now. We may make changes in the future. We don't know. But what we want to do next is again apply that unsharpening tool. Put 120, 1.2, and you can see at 75%, look how much better that looks. Soft, sharpen, soft, sharpen, soft, sharpen. All right. If you guys like what I'm doing here in real time in the real world, I'm not some professional that's telling you no, you have to do this. Just take some concept ideas what I'm doing and implement it in your editing. Knowing these tools, knowing these features. Now, keep in mind, I got a lot of presets here that I could be using, which I probably will be using later on. Let me just remove the unsharpening word. Bunch of glitches and all types of stuff, and I download these or buy these presets from active Premiere users that use it. So you want to support your local artists. So yeah, we're gonna. That looks pretty damn good. So we are going to do the exact same thing here with this clip, and going to do 15 this time and just shift this over right there. Bring the midtones down a little bit. You're right. I like that. I really do like that. Now I'm gonna actually push that. And right about there. Right about there. See, I'm trying to match the exposure here as much as possible. Now, ooh, tricky. And now we're gonna add another unsharpening. And we're gonna do 120. I'm gonna do 1.2. And once again, I'm gonna make sure that don't want too much noise. See, I can see the noise pattern right here. I don't want too much noise. That's if you're pixel peeping. But if you look at it, boom, boom. So we're gonna just dial this down a little bit to about 100. And 1.1. That looks good. So we can see there's a difference sharpening if we zoom back out. You see how that changed on me? Don't know why that is when this is matching this. Or is it? It should be matching. Or should I just expand this the way it is? See, that doesn't make sense. See, you see the change right there? Let's just move this to see what happens here. Alright, we're gonna clear this. Because these clips are actually the same. So this is why you have to pay attention to what you're doing. And you can see where I actually delete that layer. Because these two clips are actually the same lighting. And what we could do is delete this one as well. Expand this one as well. Boom. There you go. So now we need to get in here. We need to move this adjustment layer. Since it's overexposed too much. So we need to take this clip, boom, boom, and we need to fix this exposure. Because this sticks a little bit too. Yeah, this sticks too much. This is too much. Process, people, process. Let's just reset this back to 0. Let's do 5400. Yes, cool it down. Yes, look at ooh, what the doozy. Look at that. Just bring this right about there. Nope. Looks about. That looks about right. Okay, kind of want to bring that mid-tone down a little bit. The mid-tone's down just a bit. Okay. Uh, I'm sick, guys. I'm really freaking sick. I can't even concentrate. I can't even think straight when I'm sick. This is why I don't like being sick. As much as I travel around the globe, it's been rare that I get sick from even the coldest weather because I'm always laid up. And for some reason, I'm sick today because it's freaking weathered. Okay. These clips look pretty good. I just think that maybe in this adjustment layer here, I can actually bring up the exposure just a tiny bit. So what we're going to do here. Just a bit. Avoid. Alright. And what we can do also, that looks about right. Alright, so enough of that. Just going to show you the process of now. This is what I'm going to do. Let's check this out. We got issues. We got lag. Oh, it seems a little bit too bright right there. So we need to fix this clip. See how this is a little bit brighter than others. So we need to fix the exposure. Just a bit right there. That seems about right. So now, this is what I have to do next. Check this out, guys. This is the tedious part. Now I have to go back all in here. Check it. I gotta go in here to make sure that there's no. I gotta go back in film convert. Check this out. And hit source. This little keyframe right here. I'm gonna hit every one last of these. Boom. 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 I'm gonna do this for every single adjustment layout. And you guys are probably saying, why? Because I noticed two things. What happens when you render this and you export this out? There's some inconsistencies. There's some inconsistencies with this, alright? So I need to fix this. Okay. No. And remove this. Because this adjustment lane at the very end of my intro was affecting that image, and I don't want that. That's why I put a fader on it. And we need to go back in here again. And we hit all those keynotes, right? So, ooh, I am getting sick. I'm sorry, guys. I'm really getting sick. I was outside last night, and it was brutal. Brutal. I'm a boss out. If I can handle this weather, this negative 30-degree weather, I'm a boss. I don't give a crap what no one says. You can't do what I do for a living. I'm pretty sure any photographer, any other landscape or travel photographer can probably do it. But any other photographer that doesn't experience this type of experience that I'm experiencing as a travel photographer during the winter, summer, spring, it doesn't matter, all 4 seasons, I don't think they can handle it. Now I'm gonna go back here, and now I'm gonna hit these keyframes again. because I like what I see. And now we could go in here. And I'm also gonna hit this keyframe. Boom, for the sharpening. So this would ensure me when I export this out that it's gonna keep all the settings locked to that keyframe. So if I was you guys, make sure that if you're using Film Convert Pro in its latest version, because I'm pretty sure I'm not on the latest version. I think it's at what, 2.56 now. That use these keyframes to lock in your adjustment layer to your clip, so when you export it out, it's never going to change or flicker, because that's what happens when you don't lock those keyframes in. It will flicker off and on sometimes. It's a fair chance it would happen and a fair chance it won't happen, but it has happened to me. So now I'm going to go back into the film convert on this adjustment layer and do the process over again. Oops, just undo that. Control Z on your keyboard to undo. But we're gonna go back to this keyframe. We're gonna just click those keyframe and go all the way down and hit those nice juicy keyframes. Alright, and now we're gonna go to the end of that adjustment layer and hit the keyframes on the right side. Lock in your settings. Oops. And ta-da! Boom. Now we're gonna go back in this adjustment layer and do it again until we are done here. Now, camera. That's strange. Why is it locking in? That's pretty odd. Did you just see that? What just happened? It's also locking the keyframes on the right hand side. Not sure why it was doing that. That's pretty weird. Lock that in as well. Normally it doesn't do that. Maybe the update to Premiere it locks it in. Oh yeah, maybe it does. Because it never did that before. That I recalled. And then we're gonna do all these keyframes. Annoying. Alright. So we locked it in. We're gonna do it to this one as well. See, guys, it's all about patience. Patience, my son. Patient. Control Z to undo. Camera source. Temperature. Ah, what a tedious. Just for a freaking review. I know, guys. But if you want people to take you seriously when it comes down to your color grading and your editing, you gotta do these things. And this is by far the kind of like the first time I doing this type of videos for you guys. Because normally I do like a quick one, and I have done one in the past. Actually, let me save this one. Let me save it, and let me open up a previous project I did yesterday. The zombie. Let me just give you a good example. This was the zombie. If you haven't seen that video, I suggest checking that video out. It's about the zombie nurture density filter that I have. And you can see how I add a little bit. This is like a quick one, just example. Hello everyone, this is ThePandaPhotographer, and I want to talk about my 2-year experience with the zombie variable ND. Now, you see how the text has two different, like, it has a shadow and then it has like a fill here. Let me show you in the graphics. You're gonna go down to the add. You're gonna, right there. Okay, so I got a stroke, I got a shadow, and I got a fill. I have the stroke at 8%, but I got my idle layer at 3.6%. Oh, I'm sick, guys. I'm really badly sick. Oh, if you guys want to support the channel with some medicine, the PayPal donation link is down in the description below. I can really need some right now. Oh, that's just gross. Oh, freaking weathered. You can see how that my shadow, like my distance on my shadow, is at 6.2%. If we zoom in at 75%, you can see where it's super clean. You can see that. So we're gonna. That's just an example to show you guys, but 2 to 400 ND filter. Now, some of my old content have some. See, I would add this animation in about how good these. And you can see I have an adjustment layer here. Now, keep in mind, I shot this in 4K 30 frames per second on an iPhone, but I kept everything standard, default. There's a reason why, because on Pro Movie on the app on my iPhone, I correct the white balance. I use a gray card. I corrected the white balance. Therefore, it worked perfectly for me. And you can see I'm using the correct profile called FJ8553ET as Super 35, which is going to be on the phone, by the way. Most people don't realize that the iPhone is kind of like in a crop mode anyway, so that's why people adapt other lenses to get that wider field feel on it. But you can see all the settings here, and you can see like me adding the photo, which is right here, and plus text and fading it away. So this is just a good example. These variable ND filters or ND filters in general, that you have to absolutely fix your white balance first before using these variable or ND filters by Zombie. So this is what we're gonna do to this, to our Irix to our Irix review. Now I also did fix the audio on this too. So I put a FTT filter. I put a graphics equalizer, which is 10 band. I put a desizer and a denoiser. So I am not sponsored by Zombie. I'm not affiliated. I'm not getting free stuff from them. I purchased this with my own money. Keep in mind, also, what I'm about to say may help Zombie improve on. So if I was you guys, go watch that video. I just uploaded yesterday, but let's go back into our current project. Are you gonna go? Hello? Hello, sir? Hello, mister? What is going on here? Oh, no. Oh, yeah, that was my fault. I don't know why a Premiere does that. Don't know why. Like, it hiccuped like that. Okay. I'm pressing on it. Oh, I'm so sick, guys. Really sick. Now we gotta reboot Premiere. Go into the recent project again. Load it. Now keep in mind, I'm also using SSDs. So if you're not using SSDs, you can still use hard drives, but the read and write speeds are going to make a big difference. Okay, so we were actually in the process of we were in the process of fine-tuning these and putting the keyframes in. I'm going to do the same for this one here. Chicka chicka bang bang. Chicka chicka bang bang. Chicka chicka bang bang. Alright, so we're going to put the camera source, the exposure. Oh, temperature, convert to the size, the film color, the curve, the grain, the saturation. Oh, freaking nose is killing me right now. My nose is on fire. Why? I've been using the softest t-shirt I possibly could find, and my nose feel like it's on fire. Oh, maybe because it is extremely cold outside. They said like cover your face, and I didn't cover my face properly. Maybe that's why my skin is feeling that irritation from the really harsh cold weather. But ooh, yeah, my nose is like, ooh, it hurts when I touch it now. Oh, that's kind of freaky. And we're gonna also zoom in here once again. Make sure that, see, there's that one keyframe in here that we gotta fix. Alright, boom. And then we're gonna hit that keyframe. See, we gotta do this. So do your color grading first, and then if you like what you see, then you can hit the keyframes. But note, if you want to make changes, it would ask you that you will have to make the assessment to reset the keyframes. Okay, we got the keyframes in for this clip. And now we are going to... So this is the kind of work that dedicated filmmakers or YouTubers have to put in. Now, I can do this a much faster process without doing these live streams, but I really wanted to emphasize and go with you guys with this so you guys can have a better understanding. I'm only going to do a 60 minutes of this every day, and I'm not going to add this behind your back. I'd rather go through this with you guys step by step every day. I might not do one tomorrow, so mind you, because I feel like I'm getting really sick and I might have to visit the hospital because I'm really getting to a point where the temperature is really getting to me right now. So if you can see here in the keyframes, and everything seems to be, you know, up to par. Alright, and I'm gonna leave that alone for now, because I'm not sure. Yeah, actually, I am going to use this, so yes, go back in here. So, as a photographer standpoint, I want to say Michael the Raven. Dude is a gay stud, man. He made Fuji lower the price for the, what is it, 18 to 55 F2.8 what's that, XF lens, because he made a video about it. I think it was a little bit overpriced for something that a kit lens that costs less did better when it comes down to the transmission light. Now, I'm not saying that it might be not be as sharp as that 18 to 55, but that 16 to 55, like, woo, that was a pretty sexy lens. That is a pretty sexy lens. So go check his video out. Actually, we're gonna visit his video. I want to feature some other photographers in here in this live stream, so you guys can get to know them better. Alright. Okay, we done. Okay, we done with that. We done with this crap. Now I have to render this. Oh, here we go. I have to render. We see how long it's gonna take for us to render this. Oh. So make sure you have enough. Make sure when you do render these files, set up a folder. Anything in your Premiere before you start editing any photos. Make sure that you have a folder where the cache and the rendering would go to. So if you don't to save that cache or those rendering cache files, you can delete them in that folder to save space on your hard drive. But I recommend don't delete them. That's why you should have an SSD and store it somewhere in the folder where you can transport that. Because say if you want to actually take the work somewhere else and transfer it to another computer, up the folders process and a lot longer, and I would not be shooting this or recording this with OBS and 1080p 30 frames a second. So mind you, I am shooting this, I recorded this, screen recording this in 1080p 30 frames a second, not 60 frames a second. When I do any product reviews or feature other photographers, I would do 60 frames a second. And it's like gamers. Most gamers will probably want to game at 1080p 60 frames a second. It's more ideal. Some gamers do like that 120 frames, 144 refresh rate, but realistically, come on, 60 frames is more ideal to the eye. And we are still rendering. I want to see if this is still streaming. Yes, it is still streaming. Because I'm looking at my iPhone. It's telling me I wasn't streaming. It's buffering. YouTube is changing servers apparently from the Google. Oh boy. YouTube and Google. A bad relationship. Article 11 and Article 13 in the EU. It's going to have some effect to a lot of content creators. And it's going to hurt. So if you're not up to date with that Article 11 and Article 13 in the EU, it's going to affect a lot of YouTubers on this platform, and it's going to hurt us too, because if someone want to watch my content and say I have a certain content they don't want someone else, say in London, to see, I'm going to lose that viewer. And that's going to hurt a lot of us YouTubers. So you may want to read about that, about that. Pay attention to what's going on in the world sometimes, people. Everyone is so, oh, I need a Sony camera, or I need a Nikon camera. Every day is not about photography. Oh, that rendered pretty quick. This is why I love having a quad core or a 6-core CPU inside my laptop. Gets the job done faster. Bling. What was that? What the hell was that? You see that? Do you see that? That was weird. That was like a yellow saying that it couldn't find the that was like a warning sign saying you couldn't find the file. What was that? Oh, it doesn't show it anymore. That was weird. That looks good, guys. Look at that. That looks good. That looks good, guys. Now, let's do some fun stuff. So now I gotta find a place to put the logo. Alright. I'm gonna make this short. Tear. Alright. So see, the reason why I put my logos in my videos is because a lot of other YouTubers that are not actually YouTubers or YouTube creators likes to steal your work. Like Jake Paul. A couple months ago, he stole someone else's video and then put it in his video, and then that content creator filed a copyright claim against it, and Jake Paul said, no, it's fair use. You have to ask permission to use copyright material, because basically either Jake Paul ran out of ideas or his management team ran out of ideas, so they decided to steal other people's work. And if this is an ongoing battle, this is why I block their channels, the Paul brothers. I just block their channels from popping up on my YouTube because I really don't want to see their garbage, because it's all garbage. Right here, I'm going to add right there. I'm going to add this logo right there. Actually, let's sequence this. Let's change the speed from 30 seconds to 15 seconds on both sides. Now, the cool part about this is that I can actually do this. Go to this one. Alright. See how that looks. Ooh. A little too fast, but like for this one, I can do the exact same thing. Oh, let's select it first. And do 15 seconds on this one. Another 15 seconds on this one. Okay, so this is where I made a mistake. I need to speed this up by 50%. So 150. Nope. I need to speed it up a little bit faster. Duration 160. Alright. Actually, I need to speed it up. It seems about 175. Yeah, it seems about right. That seems about right. Oh, that hiccup. There we go. That looks better. Like this one. I also need to fix this one. So we need to do 200 on this one, apparently. Yep. I was right. See, the great thing about understanding Adobe Premiere and knowing what to do in Adobe Premiere, you get the sense of how much percentage to cut things down to over time. You become smarter, you become wiser, you become a fast thinker when editing. Ooh. I don't like how that turned out. Okay, not too shabby. But I'm also going to add text. Maybe. Okay, I am going to add this right about there. Add a little fader to that transition. Then we're going to go in here. 15 seconds again. Do another 15 seconds on this one. Then we're going to cut this down in size. We're going to do another 200%. Oh, actually, let's open this up a little bit. Oh, man. Oh, my God. I just put the nasty loogie of boogers on my jacket. Oh, that's just gross. That is just gross. Alright. So now I'm gonna have to resize this. Just about it. Right there, right there. So what you have seen in the last hour, please do subscribe, like, share the content, and give me a comment. Let me know what you can do to improve this editing process. And as I said, if I was actually not doing one of these tutorials, I would probably just get this done within like a few days. But might not even get it done in a few days. I might just take my time on this one because, you know, something like this, to me, it's important. I think it's very, very important. Boogers everywhere. Oh, Jesus, man. Oh, boogers, 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 boogers. Boogers. Ugh. If you guys want to help support this channel financially, there's a PayPal donation link link down in the description below. Will help me out and to buy medicine. I'm not really a medicine person, but I'm gonna buy some Japanese medicine. I don't like the American medicine, so I'm gonna want to go to the Japanese market to buy the medicine that I need. Natural stuff, not chemicals in. Cause I really not a big fan. We're gonna skip that part. Ooh, nice and smooth, like a baby's butt. So, everyone, it's been about an hour. I thank you guys for joining in, and if you guys do like the video, and you can see the process and the animations, the text, which I didn't add text yet. This is an hour. I don't want these to be no longer than